What we know for certain is that at some point in the early 21st century, all of mankind was united in celebration. We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
Morpheus was right, but we celebrated it a decade earlier. Doctors are going to extinct. Robots are going to perform operations on humans with no any mistakes, even with 0% of margin of error. Med school students should quit, and there will be no place for the doctors in the future. But hey, can we make drugs or medications without spending years of researches without guaranteed results? How can we get rid of doctors? They show more empathy with the patients. We're going to speak about AI. You're watching Red Scraps, this is Mustafa, and let's go. The AI is a relatively new thing. We still don't know the whole shape of it and how far it will go. Exactly like the beginning of the internet in the last century. So let's take a trip around the fields of the AI capabilities and let's try to find some answers for our wonderings and questions according to the researches and expectations that we have so far without freaking out. According to a research in Harvard Business Review, patients still cautious about using the AI instead of going to a real doctor. Regardless, the AI is giving them more accurate details and results. And that's because the patients think that their medical needs are rare of a kind and can't be solved by a machine. But wait, is the AI is really heartless machine? Well, all of the experts think that it's impossible for the AI to connect with the humans as they connect with each other. But when patients ask AI apps, the app answered them and show more empathy than a real doctor and gave them more simplified answers. Regardless that the answer of AI was more accurate than the answer of a real doctor. IBM's Watson diagnoses the heart diseases much better than cardiologists do. In X-ray, the AI is giving outstanding results. It compares huge amount of results of X-rays and give you a result better than any radiologist. So does that mean that we need to depend on the AI completely now? Or we would depend on it in the future and diagnose ourselves at home and not to go to a healthcare provider? Anthony Komarov, editing-in-chief, Harvard Health, was asked the question whether the AI replaces the doctors in the future. His answer was, not in my lifetime. But if we could control the development and the use of it, then we can raise the quality of the doctors and their diagnosis skills. Well, how is that possible? The doctors shall use the AI as a machine to improve their skills to have a quicker and better diagnosis. The same way with the old methods such as palpation and percussion. Nowadays they are old and not accurate enough to give a diagnosis. Regardless, it was replaced with more modern methods such as X-ray, ultrasounds and so on, but it's still taught in med schools. Instead of spending hours of reading researches on the internet such as PubMed for example, it wastes the time of the doctor because he needs to read the whole researches and the searching system is not that good because he shows you the author name or the whole researches that related to the subject. But the AI here will cut the time because he will give directly the result that the doctor needs. Let's try to break it down a little bit. Let's take doctor plus internet versus doctor plus library. Doctors before the era of the internet, they had to spend long hours in the libraries with a bunch of magazines trying to update themselves with the new medical knowledge. Internet made their lives more easier. They can connect with each other easier, quicker, and they can find any information around the world with a click. So here we have doctor plus internet beats the Doctor Plus library. Therefore, Doctor Plus AI definitely will beat Doctor Plus Internet, because searching and finding information and knowledge will be much more easier. So with the radiologist, for example, the AI compares huge amount of results and give the final result to a radiologist, and this erases the margin of error. A hospital in Florida is monitoring every single move of the human. That's of course after they take the consent of the patient. These super cameras monitoring the temperature, the physical movement of the patient, and it decides when to call for help, a doctor or a nurse, and when to change the position of the bed. Whenever robots perform surgeries or procedures on human without a human supervising, in accordance with a scientific paper published on Science Daily in 2022, a robot designed in Johns Hopkins succeeded to perform a surgery of reconnecting two ends of a pig's intestines, but the robot still can't predict the complications of a surgery that can happen anytime, and it can't change the surgery plan as the surgeons do. So until now, robots can only perform a surgery under the supervising of a human, even if it was distantly. It's the same principle of autopilot, because if any complications or any problem happen during the surgery, a doctor can reinsert the instructions to change the surgery plan. How about medications? Can AI change the way of discovering drugs? We should know how it works. Pharmaceutical companies spend years on developing a new drug, spend years of trying this new medication on lab animals, and then more years on clinical trials, and then to get the approval of the FDA. After that only they can put it in markets. And on any stage of those, if there is any problem happened or any hazardous side effect showed, then this drug will never see the light. And of course the company would lose the hundreds of millions of dollars that have spent. Well, so far it's difficult to say that the AI can do this task. But researchers in Harvard say that AI can help to determine which molecules can be more likely safe and effective in human therapy due to the ability of the AI to analyze the vast range of data, discovering patterns, relations, and predict effects. Should med school students drop off? Well, no. On the contrary, the next generation of the doctors will have a chance to learn faster and more effectively in the AI. They will make less or no human errors and much better and accurate differential diagnosis, and they will apply it on their patients in their practical life. But probably without learning how to use the AI, there would be no place for you. However, everything has dark side. A dangerous example, such as misuse of this cutting-edge technology, for example, to use it to diagnose and to treat yourself at home, or to treat someone close to you without any medical knowledge. This can cause real harm to a person that you're trying to help. Or even some people just read some medical informations on chatbots and they start to give medical advices on different platforms of social media. Those can be false or inaccurate info based on what you have read in those chatbots. Doctors probably won't be replaced in the future by the AI, because eventually AI is a machine and has no brain. But it only gathers massive amount of information, analyzes it, and gives us a result. Thanks for the fast computers that we have. And that was it for today. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you didn't like it, share it with your friends. Who knows, they might like it.